Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by a man who survived the snapping.
Woo!
Friends, his name is Justin.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, it's a little bit different than you usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The energy's different.
Ah, gotcha.
It's a little more open. I don't have a wall over here.
Okay.
So it's messing me up.
Great start.
Thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
We're 151. We're brought to you by Skeleton Vineyards. If you are looking for a fine new wine, you should go to skeletonwines.com and check them out because they are awesome.
They are.
You can also find them on social media on Facebook at Skeleton Vineyards. That is literally their handle.
Yes.
I just want to put that out there.
Yes.
There is a difference between the website and the Facebook page. So,
Yep.
and we're trying to get them to get Twitter.
But it goes the same place.
Yes, exactly.
And it goes in your belly, and it's very good.
Yes,
It's
get
very,
you
very
drunk. As for us, we are 151. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show. And we hope that you subscribe to our Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube channel. Also, you can find us on 151theshow.com.
And that's literally right behind you right now.
In the background, and I think it's going to be along the bottom of the page
Right.
or the screen as well. Also, if you're into the Google put out their podcast thing,
Yes.
we're on there officially.
And that is actually... So I've used Google Music for a long time. Music for a long time.
Yeah.
For my podcast stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the app was terrible. So this is the new Google Podcast app. It's just called Podcasts. You can see I've got all the ones that I subscribe up there. 151 The Show, Campaign, Hello from the Magic Tavern, Mission to Zix, and Improvised Star Trek. And it will show you as you go the new episodes. It went off. The new episode.
Here's a blank screen, everybody. That should be awesome.
And it keeps you up to date. It's phenomenal. I've changed over to it. And I'm using it. It's great. That probably should have been like our shameless plug or something. So
Yeah, probably.
just spice that in again at the end.
Okay, so it's been a couple months again since we recorded. I think the last time we recorded it was April.
I think so.
It was April, and then it was a matter of, I want to say, September or so the year before that we recorded.
Right.
So there's been a little bit of time, and every time, man, what?
No.
That's cool. So anyways, it's been a couple months since we last recorded and last added to season 3. And there are some reasons for that, and we thought we'd talk a little bit. I know we usually get into the kind of geek side of things, but it's been an interesting couple months. You want to use that one?
Yep.
That one makes it go in and out
right.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to do some little bit of adjustment here.
Which sounds awesome.
I know it does.
God.
I know it does. There we go. That's better.
I'm glad this is our return to podcasting.
Right. And studios back in Studio West.
Yeah.
Return.
Do we want to start there?
Sure.
Okay, so for those of you playing along at home, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that things don't look the way they usually do. In fact, they may look a little better because we've got stuff in the background. We've got a nicer wall. So it is, right now, it's July 7th for us when we're recording this. And last weekend, actually a week from, or last week today.
Yeah. Last Saturday night.
The town I live in is called Ankeny, Iowa, and it was hit with 10 inches of rain in
4 hours.
Yeah, it started around 7, and the street started to flood. And at first, if you paid attention, if you follow me on Facebook, it had some Facebook Live videos, and it's like, oh, ha, the street's flooding, oh, look at all the water, and then it started creeping closer to the house and closer to the house and closer to the house.
It got progressively less funny as the night went on.
Yeah, exactly. And at one point, we're like, oh no. There's water up to our house. It's starting to come in. The sump pump can't handle it. I mean, that sump pump ran for about 4 straight hours.
Well, and you sent me pictures of it, creeping up around the sides of the house, and then it looks like the walls were bleeding because it was starting to come through the windows.
We got, and don't get me wrong, we got amazingly lucky with this whole thing because we only got about ankle deep water in our basement, and we had time to go down there, put equipment up on. Get it up high, get all the stuff off the floor, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we had about 5 inches of water in our basement. The guy right across the street from us, and then the guy right next to us, their egress windows blew out. So they had chest deep water. And one of the guys, like 2 houses down, I don't know what happened to his, but it was all the way up to the rafters.
Jeez.
In his basement. So, we lost Studio North.
Right.
Studio North is under a bit of a refit at the moment.
Right.
So we got to re-drywall, carpet and all that kind of stuff.
So we're back at my house. The last time we did this, we squeezed into my office.
Yeah.
And there was a funny Facebook video that was at the time was our most watched video ever of me trying to squeeze my fat ass out from underneath my desk.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Because I was completely blocked in. And so we had hoped, actually, we were trying to get a couple of guests scheduled. I hear one,
and of course, it all falls apart.
Right. I hear my youngest daughter in the background upstairs, not being happy about something.
Well, she is a baby.
Right. So we moved out to the main part of the living room and kind of makeshifted everything up. But
no, it works, and you got the TV in the background with the really cool.
I do like the TV in the background running the logo. That is pretty cool.
And it's on my side of the camera.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. We'll do more cuts to you. Mine is the treadmill / clothes hanger 80% of the time.
Yeah, so no, last weekend was not fun. We spent, Saturday night, it was, at one point, we had gotten everything up off the floor and everything, as well as we could do it, right? And it was just one of those, it was a really weird moment where I just sat down on the stairs you always see in the background of your shot, and I'm looking at water just fill our basement, and my wife came down the stairs, and I just go, there's nothing else we can do.
Right.
There's nothing.
Right. Just wait for it to come up, dry out, and go from there.
And like I said, at that point, it was, how much water are we going to get?
Right.
So, leading up to the rain started to stop about 11:30 that night, 11:30 in there. And it was the weirdest thing. All of that water that was in the street, and I'll put some pictures on the video version of this, it was gone within 20 minutes.
Right.
It just drained away.
Once the strains could actually keep up.
Yeah, and, everybody started coming out of their houses and kind of looking at how much, because everybody was in the same boat on my street. And I went over.
Literally and figuratively.
But like I said, the neighbor across the street from me, his basement was, overflowing, and he had a sump pump. I brought over some hose. I brought some hose to one of the other guys to try and get some of the water out, and it was just a mess.
Right.
I've lived here all my life and have never seen it rain like that before. Never. I've never seen it rain that hard, and I've never seen it rain that long.
I think I've seen the intensity. I've never seen that duration.
Yeah. So, that was last weekend. And then Sunday last week, we spent the day trying to get everything out of that basement. All the furniture that was in there.
Right.
All of the, Rubbermaid tubs and this and that. And then we tore carpet out, which, that was fun.
Right.
Old carpet that's soaked with water.
Right.
And then after that, it was just dehumidifiers they're still running.
Right.
So.
And, keep them running.
So, and according to our drywall guy, that's I gotta to make it cheaper. I gotta tear out all the wood paneling and stuff, and so that's gonna be my night as soon as we're done here.
Sweet.
That tomorrow. So good times.
Unfortunately, I've always loved the wood paneling in Studio North because it's always it's made me. It's basically the same paneling that's it's in my grandma's basement.
Yeah,
it's always felt like home to me, but. We're going to lose that.
Well, what was funny about it is when I called you and I was talking about the insurance stuff, and you started, it'd be cool if we could do this in the basement. And then you caught yourself, and it was like, this isn't my basement.
No, this is your basement.
So
So you guys make whatever decisions you want to make. So
well, it was one of those things where we were like, if we got enough to cover the drywall and recarpeting,
Right.
we'd be all right. Because
Right.
the furniture we had down there, I mean, it was I was telling you, the one piece of furniture I was upset about was the Lazy Boy that was down
Right.
there, because that was my grandpa's, and he died, God, probably 94, 95.
Right.
And I've had that chair since. It's
Right.
fallen apart, and the frame's bent on it, and
Yeah.
all that. But you know,
But it
like-
meant something.
yeah, but I mean, everything else in that basement. I mean, from the desk we used to
Right.
couch and all that. I mean, it was all hand me downs.
Right. Right.
So
that explains the locale change. Why has it been so long since our lazy asses have actually recorded something?
I don't know. Well, in May, I mean, you've had a couple weekends with Mother's Day and Father's Day, so that wipes out a couple.
Right.
I changed jobs
Right.
in May.
Well, and so at the end of May, as we were going to get ready to record again, I did
And then-
I did a little live
yeah.
I did a little live video on this too, but so I get a call about mid-May from that my dad has been back to the doctor, and that he's going to need a heart valve replaced.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows quite when yet. And then it went from in like 3 days to, hey, you need to get the valve replaced, to, oh yeah, and here's the surgery date, and it's in like 8 days.
Yeah.
So the weekend, I think it was Memorial Day weekend, because you and I were going to take one of those days and record.
Yeah, I think the Saturday of that.
Right. And we went down to my folks's and took the girls, and actually went and spent the weekend with my dad, just, God forbid, in case something bad happened. And then the next weekend, he was recovering after the surgery, and then I think the next weekend was Father's Day.
And then the weekend after that was at my new place of work was the country concert.
Right. Which our wives got to go touch Backstreet Boy.
Yeah,
So that
AJ
was-
McLean.
Yeah,
Is that his name?
I think so.
You know-
you would know more than me.
You know what's funny about that? So, the show we did, it was a 2-day show down in St. Charles, Iowa. It's called Big Country Bash.
Right.
And they brought in, kind of at the last minute, AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys is, he's trying to go country. He's actually a big country fan.
Right.
And, they did a little private show with him, and they got to go.
Yeah, it's good. I think they both enjoyed it.
I think it was funny.
But they screwed up our recording schedule.
Yeah, they did screw
Again.
It. Yeah. But the funny thing about it was, I don't know how many of you guys follow it, but there's a thing called Text from Last Night.
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Do you look on it? I know
On
they have
occasion.
a Facebook page and they've got a
Right.
website and stuff. Well, anyways, I finally had one that I could send a text from last night. I was hoping it would get put through, but it was the one where I sent you, it's in your best interest to let your wife touch a Backstreet Boy.
Oh, and so at this point, our wives have been talking. He's involved with the conversation. I've been at work. I have no idea what's going on. So he sends me this. It's in our best interest if you let your wife touch a Backstreet Boy. I'm like, agreed, but I'm still confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, absolutely no hesitation, sure, but I'm just confused about why. Somebody fill me in the rest.
Oh, that was good. So I did take a screenshot of it and I sent it to Text from Last
That's
Night.
awesome.
So I don't know if it ever got used or what.
That's awesome.
But I thought it was funny. So yeah, that's kind of the quick catch up of what's kind of happened over the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
We're still trying to do the wine show with Joe,
Mm-hmm.
our sales guy. We've got a couple other things. One of the guests.
And thank you for Skeleton for picking his sponsorship up again.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
And making a run, even though we really haven't gotten that first wine show that we promised him done.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
We'll get there.
So anyways, so that's.
And to be fair, Joe was going to make it today. His wife is volunteering at I know it's a good cause. I don't remember which one it is.
It's a good cause. I don't know what the hell it is.
Right. But I remember thinking at the time when he was explaining it, I'm like, oh no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a good valid reason. So charity came before us, and we're okay with that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sounded dirty. Anywho,
I don't know anybody named Charity. Do you?
no.
then we're good.
Okay. Anywho, so that kind of brings you up to speed on what's been going on and why, the recording schedule has been a little weird. Since the last time we did record, let's see, what all's come out? Avengers Infinity War.
Just a few small independent films.
Yeah, exactly. So you had Infinity War finally come out. Solo.
Yep.
Incredibles 2, which was last weekend.
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2. What else did we have on the list there?
Westworld Season 2 went almost all the way. I don't think
it's done.
Yeah, I don't think it even started yet last time we recorded.
No.
So it was getting ready to. And Ant-Man and the Wasp came out literally this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, this is its premiere weekend as we sit here July 7th.
So there's a fair amount of stuff that's come out since.
Right.
Oh, Jurassic Park. Fallen
Right.
Kingdom.
Right.
Last weekend.
Yep.
So
Yep, I forgot about that.
in the little amount of time we have left on this show, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about...
Have we burned up most of the show already?
We're at about 18 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We're just sitting here talking about life.
Just a 5-minute cliff notes turned into 20 minutes of losing watchers.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay with... Listen, I know that in the world of podcasting, it's one of those things where, there's a podcast for everything and people want it. But, every once in a while when stuff like this comes up, I don't mind hearing the backstory behind it. So that would be my argument.
And let's be clear. This is not a podcast about a certain thing. It's a podcast about us.
Exactly.
And what we're watching, what we're talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. We like to get your input, but when it really comes down to it, it's about us.
Yeah, I always considered this, and from all the podcasting I've ever done, to me, it's kind of like poker night.
Right.
It's a chance to hang out, to have stupid discussions about whatever.
Right.
And just kind of go from there.
Exactly.
So, I'm cool with it.
So. Yeah. There are tens of people out there that probably agree.
By the way, we just blew through another 2 minutes.
Awesome. Okay, so Infinity War. No,
okay.
You know what? Let's start down and work up.
Okay.
Let's start with Solo.
Oh God.
So,
there is a lot we could do with Infinity War. Maybe we'll do that on a different show. And everybody's talked about it already, so I'm okay.
Talked it to death. There will be spoilers.
Okay. So Solo.
Just FYI. Let's start with Solo.
Okay.
We got the opportunity through a vendor that I use at work. They had a pre-screening. The last time they did this was Civil War. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like a Thursday night before anybody else gets released. So thank you to them. We stole the crap out of some Pez dispensers that night. Oh,
Jesus. If you saw the Facebook Live video after that.
And if you didn't, go back and look at it, because I have a whole tailgate, and we've just got Pez dispensers.
And I think I got 2 of those. And to be perfectly honest, I have no idea where they're at now.
Right. I think Savannah got a couple of them from me, but I don't know where the rest of them are.
I stole the Darth Vader one, and that was...
Right. I don't remember how many I got. It was less. Travis took most of
them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest.
Your buddy that was with us that night.
Yeah. Travis, you thief.
So anyway, Solo, Star Wars story.
That would have been. I would have held that in higher regard had it not been branded Star Wars.
That's what kind of where I was at with it. After looking back at the whole thing, excuse me, and there's very little actual Star Wars in that movie.
Right.
Other than the characters' names.
Yep.
The Empire's only in it a little bit.
Right. It makes a cameo. It makes a very convenient nonsensical plot point to get them to move in a certain direction.
You know what it kind of reminded me of?
Because Kessel was always outside of Imperial jurisdiction, they would have never come to see what was going on anyway.
But you know what it kind of reminded me of?
What?
It kind of reminded me of going into a movie like Serenity.
Right.
Because that was a different.
Right.
It was a space story. It was a space heist story that you could have put any character with.
You could have,
and you would have been fine.
Right. In fact, that might have been had it been directed by Joss Whedon and had Nathan Fillion been Han Solo, it probably would have been better.
Boy. Yeah, it could have been.
So basically, what I'm asking for more is more Serenity. But
yeah. Okay, here's a question for you. What would you rather see, Firefly Season 2 or Serenity 2? Ooh.
Serenity 2.
Yeah, you'd rather see the movie?
Here's the thing, and here's my theory on Firefly. The reason that it's so good is because
There's one season.
there's 13 episodes. They didn't make a bad one. They got really super lucky. They did not make a bad one.
Yeah.
The movie was good. There is nothing. Had that show gone 3-4 seasons, and
Yeah, you're bound to get a bad episode here and there.
Joss had moved on to doing something else, and there were other showrunners doing it, and the quality had gone down, it would not be the the legend that it is.
So anyways, back to Solo.
Back to Solo.
Because we just keep getting sidetracked
Right.
here. I liked it better than The Last Jedi.
Way better than Last Jedi.
Like, it was fine. I had
Right.
fun in it, but
Right.
it's nothing to write home about. And I think that's something Star Wars is going to run into. That their movies are just movies now.
The more that they put out, yes, the more generic, the more it will be one of many instead of being an event. It's the same thing. It's going to happen. The only people who have managed to avoid it in some certain context is Marvel, and even you even have those in Marvel. You have the Thor movies until Ragnarok have been fairly forgettable.
Yeah.
Some people would say that argue that Doctor Strange and Ant-Man have been the fairly forgettable, they're not necessarily duds.
Zero interest in seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp.
See, and
I read the plot the other night,
right.
and I was more excited to see what the post-credit scene was going to be.
Right, and how it was going to tie back.
And
Right. So, I mean, you have that even in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they have to understand that, with the amount of movies they pumped out now, that it just becomes not every single one of them is going to be a blockbuster. And I think the fact that they've put them on hold because Solo didn't do as good as they expected it to, they had way overthought their expectations.
Yeah. Well, when you come off of something like The Last Jedi, when there's so much backlash. I mean,
Right.
You had backlash after Phantom Menace and
Right.
Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, but what you didn't have back then was Facebook and social media
Right.
where it was.
And you had a very highly published director replacements and all the rest of it. And honestly, I don't care about. I care. I would have paid money to go see Han Solo post Return of the Jedi, pre Force Awakens, with Harrison Ford. You give me 3 movies, 6 movies, I don't care, with Harrison Ford playing Han Solo and being a grumpy old Harrison Ford. Every situation he gets into, damn it, Chewie.
Yeah.
I'll pay money to go see those. Some kid that doesn't sound or look like Han Solo, everybody hates prequels.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody hates prequels. That's what it was. It was a prequel.
So I will end it with this, or the Solo stuff.
I was going to say, we're done.
No. What I was going to say is...
That's it. Show's over. Whole podcast done. That's it.
Donald Glover is Lando Calrissian. Did he make the movie or not?
He was a bright, shining spot in that movie. However, it wasn't all that inspired of a portrayal. I mean, don't get me wrong. Part of the reason that Lando was cool was because it was Billy D. Williams, late 70s, Colt 45, ladies' man.
Yeah.
Donald Glover does not have that much swagger. I'm sorry. He is not, he does not ooze.
Machismo?
Yes.
Okay.
And part of that is because 40 years later, there aren't very many men who ooze late 70s porn stash machismo.
Yeah.
And part of it is because Donald Glover just ain't got it.
Okay. All right. Let's, we're coming up on the end of this show. What do you want to end with?
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2? Okay.
Right.
Because do you want to do Infinity War its own show coming up here?
We could probably do Infinity War as its own show.
Okay. We'll do that. So Deadpool 2 finally came out. I've seen it. You've seen it. I didn't see it till late in the game.
Right.
And your thoughts?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved it. It was, as far as I'm concerned, it's every bit as good as the original. It's different than the original, but, I mean, you didn't want the original again.
No, you don't.
I thought everything about it. I thought the marketing for it was genius.
Yeah.
I thought the way that we were promised and what got delivered was two different things, and I thought that was genius and very keeping within the character.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the movie.
I listen, I liked it. I don't want you to think I didn't like it. My issue with it was, and this is going to sound weird because it's a comic book movie about a guy that is indestructible.
Right.
And by the way, Baby Legs is the funniest thing in a while.
Yes.
But the first movie was it felt like it was more based in reality.
Right.
And then you throw in the time travel and all this other stuff, and it kind of got a little weird.
It felt more comic booky than the first one did. Yeah.
Oh, and the stuff with what's his old lady's name? Veronica.
Yes.
Victory. Veracia.
Marina Baccarin.
I think it's a V name though, isn't it?
It is.
Anyways, the stuff, the mystic stuff with her was a little weird.
Right.
But like I said, I didn't hate the movie at all.
But I mean, you're talking to a guy who twice has had, been impaled through the head, and his perception goes a little wonky, and you're talking about a guy in the books who literally dated the female embodiment and personification of death. So we can do a little metaphysical.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I liked it. Like I said, don't get me
Right.
wrong. I liked it. I liked the updated version of the song.
I did too. The
X-Force.
For me, for me, yeah, the whole the best part about that was X-Force and the build up to that, the amount of time spent in the marketing, in the movie, the build up to that. Spoiler alert! Shut it off now if you haven't seen it.
No, keep watching.
So all the marketing was built around the X-Force. All these individuals were introduced. We spend a lot of the movie building this up, and they wipe out the entire team.
In a matter of seconds.
Because nobody paid attention to the high wind. The only one that survived was Domino because luck is her superpower. She got lucky. Everybody else, there was...
I thought she stole the movie.
She was great. There was electrocutions. There was wood chipper incidences. Mr. Invisible turned out to be Brad Pitt in a great cameo. He got hung up in power lines and fried. I mean, it was riotous in that theater as all those guys one by one died. It was fantastic. It was great. And it was such a troll for the marketing and everything else. It was fantastic.
Deadpool 2. I wish we, would have gotten to it a little bit sooner. It would have been a lot more fun to talk about it. But I liked it. I mean, I didn't have any major problem with it.
No.
I liked it better than Solo.
Yeah. Oh, way better than Solo.
I didn't like it as much as Infinity Wars.
I liked it just as much, just in a different way.
I will say this: the post-credit scenes with Deadpool were some of the best ever.
Yes.
Absolutely the funniest. Just cleaning up the timeline.
Right. Right. The fact that they were able to, and they really had to work to recreate that footage with Jackman.
Yeah.
But that was phenomenal.
The other little cameo in that, when they open the door and all of the X-Men are there, and Beast
great.
Shuts the door.
Right. Because Deadpool goes on this whole diatribe about how come we're in this huge house and there aren't any other X-Men. It's just you guys, kind of like you did in the first movie.
Yeah.
But we see, in the background, the camera cuts, and there's James McAvoy. There's all the current good big run.
It was It was a very, very well laid joke.
Yes, it was,
and it was very simple. It was to the point.
It was clean and it was beautiful.
Yeah. So, all right, is that cool with you? Mm-hmm. For the first one back in a while.
I wasn't expecting you to to jump back to me. That's why I
That's what
thought I
she
was
said?
safe to take a drink.
That's what she said?
Yep.
Possibly.
Yep.
Dude, I made this into a number 8.
I know you did. He's been sitting here the whole time I've been talking and stripping out this paper clip and
No, it was
a
it was
twist tie.
Yeah, it was a twist tie. I turned it into.
And the whole time he's really been focused on what I had to say.
It's one of those like stupid things you do with your hands when you're just sitting there listening to nonsense.
Please don't ever do the other stupid things you do with your hand while you're just sitting there.
All right, friends, that's going to do it for us. We're 151. You can find us 151theshow.com. We're on social media, 151 what?
You've timed that twice with it up on the screen behind you. Are
nice.
you doing that on purpose?
Yeah, well, I'm a
job.
professional.
Yeah.
You can find us on social media at 151theshow on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr.
Right. You are again. That's very
I am.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can claim to be better than me again.
I am not a mere mortal anymore.
God, you're gonna start calling yourself the talent again, aren't you?
Yes. We hope that you subscribe to our Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube channels. You can also find us on all the other like Podknife and Google Podcast and whatnot. I don't know all the names. Some of them I'm getting old.
At this point, pretty much, yeah. If you put it in Google, the Google machine, you're gonna get some results.
Yeah. We are.
Somebody likes us.
I hope so. We're presented by Skeleton Wines. You can find out more about them on their website, skeletonwines.com, or on social media at Skeleton Vineyards. It is at Skeleton Vineyards. I cannot say it a different way because that's what it is. All right, that's going to do it for us. We can't end without a shameless plug. Cue the music! Shameless Plug is a part of the show that we do where we shamelessly plug something. It, can be anything. It can be a app.
Like Google Podcast.
Yeah, it can be, a movie theater, a tool,
It could be a website like 151show.com right behind Adam.
It could be just about anything. Shameless Plug. Dude, it has been a long couple weeks, so my brain, it'll just shut off in the middle of stuff, and it just, it is what it is. Anywho, the shameless plug for this week, I'm actually going to do it for these shirts.
That's a good looking shirt.
You like that?
I do.
Huh? Yeah. This is my new Iowa shirt for the football season. I got it through, I want to say Hawkeye Heaven put them up a couple weeks ago, and part of the money, the proceeds went to the Puppy Jake Foundation.
Very nice.
So there's a little bit of charity. There's some military in there, and my favorite football team. So
and Hawkeye Heaven, that's a good page to follow right there. They could almost be their own shameless plug.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only other shirt I need to get before the football season starts is the Kinnick Wave shirt. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, got one.
For those of you who don't pay attention to college football and don't know anything about the Iowa Hawkeyes, they do a thing, or they started doing it last season. Sorry, I'm readjusting here. But basically, they built a children's hospital right by the stadium, and the top of the stadium the top of the hospital, overlooks Kinnick Stadium, right? So somebody came up with this idea to do, they thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if everybody in the stands turned around and waved at the kids sometime during the game? And the University of Iowa ran with the idea.
Right.
And it's awesome. It really... Every time it happens, I get a little misty-eyed.
Right.
Because it's just one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, that's awesome.
There's a lump in my throat every time it happens.
So when they do it in between the first and second quarter. They have everybody turn around in the stadium, and both teams do it. The coaches do it. Referees do it. Everybody does it. They turn around and they wave. So that's going to be the other shirt I get. Right. And those proceeds of those funds actually goes towards the children's hospital as well. So.
And not only has it been a great thing, I mean, and what, didn't they win? There was a deal. They got awarded for the best, basically like non-sport moment.
I know they were in the running for it.
It was
I
like
can't remember
them
if
and
they
somebody else
Yeah.
were the last two. But it's also been very, very beneficial for publicity for the children's hospital
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
The amount of stuff that sprung up about that. I mean,
it was in a Carrie Underwood video.
right. To the point that I know when that was really gaining traction. My wife, Sheena, does books and kids' books on the side, and I know that she raised over like $900 worth of books, to take
that's
up there
awesome.
and get donated as well. So
Cool.
I mean, it really pushed for the kids in the hospital. Going along with it, so I mean, it's had kind of a double whammy effect.
Yeah. So the shameless plug kind of all over the place, but all
Right.
for good causes. So.
Like the rest of the show's been.
Yeah. It's been an awesome one, man. And that one dude, so that son of a bitch making fun of me.
Best work ever.
So, all right, friends, that's going to do it for us. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show. We're brought to you by Skeleton Vineyards. Skeleton Wines. You can find their website, skeletonwines.com, on the interwebs. Such a dumbass sometimes. You can find them on social media. Social media at Skeleton Vineyards.
We've enjoyed you letting us back and getting to do this again. So
Yeah,
this
is awesome. This was so worth it.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna clear our minds. Maybe have some skeleton wine, and we're gonna try this again.
There you go. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.